Now, it's close to 500 years since the first slave ship left the shores of the Atlantic in Ghana all the way to the United States of America. These ships were carrying slaves with them, you know. And so the black person, many of us say that we have foundational black Americans over there, but I believe that we also had the slave trade. So many of African Americans went there due to slave trade, you know. And so the African American has always been considered a lower priority, you know. The interest of the black man has not always been categorized well, you know. It's always been taken low. When amendments are made, when decisions are even made in the parliament, the interest of the black person in the United States of America are not always taken serious. We see this with the police cases, we see this with the shootings, we see this with the jurisdiction that is being implemented in the United States of America. The jails in the US are full of black people. Yes, full of black people. Crime does not choose color. Crime can be conducted by anyone, and anyone can be a victim of crime, you know. And so, after this long struggle, we've had black people get into the positions of leadership. These black people included Barack Obama, you know. He held the biggest position of leadership in the United States of America in 2009 when he became the first black president in the United States of America. That one was a big achievement to the black people. Black people saw, okay, one of us has been able to make it to the presidential seat, and now maybe now our lives can change for the better. Maybe now the police brutality might end. But no, it didn't end. No, it didn't end. In fact, during the times of Obama, worse things happened, you know, worse things happened. We saw many people are blaming Obama for even conducting extrajudicial activities in African soil, the activities in Libya. It was during the leadership of Obama that Muammar Gaddafi was killed. It was during the leadership of Obama that Osama bin Laden was killed. By no means I'm not supporting any form of violence, but he had a lot of extrajudicial activities happening while he should have been taking care of the black people, taking care of its citizens, the citizen of US, including the black people. He didn't. Black people are complaining every now and then. And this is the aim of this video. This video is to make you understand that black people are not happy with his presidency. We might think that he was able to help, but the black people like me living in the US are having different perspectives and they're having different opinions. So I want us to continue watching this video, and then I'll share my thoughts towards the end of the video right now.
But if the racist element in this country, which is very strong, decide that if the health bill passes, Obama is winning. He's gone past the Republicans now, but he's fighting with his own Democratic brethren who have been hamstringing him as well. He's walking a very tight rope with no safety net under it. Now, if the media mistakes our loving critique, admonition, rebuke, and exhortation to our brother,
tell it, minister.
and then say that we hate him, and then use this as a stamp of approval on a death warrant for our brother, then none of us will ever be able to stand in front of our people again if they believe that we join this conversation as haters of our brother. So we want to make that very clear.
Love.
Very clear. Now, last point I'm making. The last point. If you don't like our brother, vote him out. We cannot we can bear to lose an election, but we cannot bear to make Michelle and her children fatherless and husbandless, as we saw with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I'm warning you, America, they got it on YouTube, should he be assassinated? That's right. And nobody's jumping on the preacher who's praying that God kills him.
Right.
See, this is real in America when you disturb the powers that run things. I'll close with this. Our brother was selected before he was elected. Wait a minute. Now, all of you know something about kingmakers. When people in back rooms come to somebody who's popular, somebody who's intelligent, that don't speak with a Negro dialect, a light-skinned Negro, that is non-threatening to white people because they can see themselves in him because he's part them and part us. This is political scheming, which Senator Reid got involved in. He didn't mean no harm. He was just talking about the white mentality.
Right. That's right.
So now, when you select a man, the man may never know what your purpose was. Because I understand that his initial victory in Iowa was financed largely by Goldman Sachs. I don't know the truth. That's what I've read. Now look, who selected a junior senator that hadn't even got his foot wet in the Senate and made him believe that he, from that position, could become president of the United States? I suggest to you that the people that looked at him and saw his brilliance, saw that that brilliance could be used for a purpose that was not our agenda. Now, I'm closing now. The people that chose him know the time that we are living at the end of America's rule as a great power in the world. Now you have to face it. She's bankrupt. What are you gonna do when the dollar is worth nothing? They are printing money out of thin air to back these programs. So my brother may be disappointing some that thought he would be what maybe he has the nerve not to be. So I say to all of you in this room and all who are watching by television, we need to pray for our brother and his family and warn America, leave that brother alone.
Minister Farakhan?
Let me.
Question. I have a question for Minister Farakhan. And it's a very serious question. I heard what you said, and I understand what you're saying. But what you gave is, you just gave reasons why a person will now say, Minister Farakhan said this, so I might not need to move. I might not need to do anything. in terms of our agenda, our people. I know what you're saying. It can be said that that's why we don't need to do anything.
Right.
But you got millions of families, black families in America, black babies, black men, black women, who are suffering. Who speaks for them? Nobody in America right now speaks for black people, whether they're elected, anointed, or appointed. Whenever they mention black people, they say minority, or they say women, Hispanic, black people. The Latino community, Hispanic is really, first of all, not a race, it's a culture. And so they come together around common cause to get something. We work with Latino, we didn't work with Hispanic, we work with the Latino, which is a whole different thing. So you have Gutierrez who have no problems talking about the Latino community. You have your white Tea Parties, you have Lipinski, all the rest of them talking about the white community. You have labor, and I know a lot of folks with labor in here, pushing bills, but at the same time they won't allow black folks to get into unions. You have them saying, bring us the shovel-ready projects, and you drive down the Dan Ryan or drive down 47th Street or 55th Street, don't see no black folks working. So we have to, and I guess I'm just free. Dr. King gave his life. Dr. King said, if you're not ready to die, don't go to war.
Say that again.
If you're not ready to die, don't go to war. Wear your cemetery suit, because there's going to be some casualty. Not that I want our president. I'm saying that in our community right now, there is no other community in this country that's suffering more than us. You said America's coming to its end, and I'm going to end this tab, because I want to tell him.
I'm going to jump in, yeah.
I'm going to say, but with us, those of us who are descendants of enslaved Africans.
Now, it is evident that from this video, we can able to deduce that black people are not very much happy with Barack Obama. Black people are not really, their lives have not changed, you know. The minister, Louis Farakhan, is saying there was unemployment before the coming of Obama. There was unemployment during the coming of Obama, and there is now unemployment even after Obama has left. You know, this video is not done yesterday. It's quite old, but it carries still the message. The message is still relevant up to date. Being that we have black leaders in power does not necessitate the chance of us being liberated economically, being liberated politically, and being liberated socially. You know, when I mean economically, black people don't have the economic freedom like the ones which white people have. Black people, they have these stereotypes of black people. There are places black people can't go in the US. We've seen videos where a child goes and knocks a door of a white person and they are shot right away. Tell me, is that acceptance or is that rejection? Now, Louis Farakhan is saying it's easier for us to speak when we want something or when we are chasing something. We can speak anything because the mouth will always speak anything that comes into that comes to the mind. But now the real challenge comes when the seat is given. Now you say you campaigned saying you liberate people, you'll do Obamacare, you'll do this and that. You might have done some of the things, but the real things that will really change the lives of the black people was never done. I'm not putting the weight on Barack Obama only. In the future, we might have more Barack Obamas. Yes, Barack Obamas, we might have them. But Louis Farakhan is warning us that being that someone is talking something does not necessitate they will act on it. To us, to me, and to you, black person, or whichever person who is watching this video, actions speak louder than voice. And there is no great loyalty like the loyalty of understanding how the struggles, how your people have always suffered, and acknowledging their suffering in a way that you understand and you make something to better their living in a specific country or in a specific setting. That is the greatest loyalty. Betrayal comes in when you say, take me to that seat, I'll make sure that I've changed your lives, but once I get into that seat, no, I don't think of you. I think of my own interests, or I think of the interests of the people who are surrounding me, you know. Louis Farakhan said, Barack Obama does not rule the United States. He was chosen to represent the United States. He does not own it, you know. The United States is a multiracial country. The original people who really deserve to be in that country by birth are the Red Indians. Yes, if you have watched the video or the movie Apocalypto, you will see that those are the original inhabitants of the United States. All these people we are seeing, the black people came through slavery. We had the people, white people, most of them from Germany came over there during the World War. Some came even looking for opportunities even before the World War. Now, this idea that black people do not deserve the rights of the same equal rights as a white person. The black person always has to check behind them to see if somebody's watching. They'll always, if they hear the sound of a siren, they are always fearful. These things should not be there. At least not there when Barack Obama came into seat. But they still existed. Barack Obama can't take away 400 years of mental torture. He can't take away that. But he can make implementations. He was the head of that country. He could make laws. He could sign laws, and he could refuse to sign some laws. At least the thing that black leaders should do is to favor their own people, understand the struggles they have gone through. This is the greatest loyalty somebody can have. Think of where you came from, not where you are right now. You might go back to where you came from. Yeah, you might go back to eat with the pigs. Now that you are eating with the kings, don't forget you came from the pigs, and you might go back to the pigs. From soil you came, from soil you shall return. These are words that should remind people of the vanity of life. It should remind you of the vanity of life. At least when you're in a position to help and you're entrusted by people, they vote for you, do what is required of you as per the law. Yes, that is my opinion upon this video. That's my critical analysis. If you have any thoughts, or if you have any other critical analysis, you can share in the comment section. See you in the next video, guys, where we'll talk matters of Africa in Africa. See you in the next one.